This video is going to walk you through how to choose the correct trig tool to use with non-right triangles. Hopefully you've already learned how to use sine, cosine, and tangent with right triangles, but when the triangles are not right triangles, there's these other two skills or trig tools that are called law of sines and law of cosines. Here's how you recognize each one. When you're trying to do law of sines, you're trying to ask yourself this question: can you circle an angle and a side that are opposite each other? In this first question that you're going to see in the top left corner here, you'll notice that I can circle the 62 degrees and the 28. Those are two pieces of information that are opposite each other, and therefore I can use law of sines in this kind of question. So be looking for an angle and a side that are opposite each other. Then, to solve for x, in this case, the angle that you're trying to figure out, you would circle those two as well. And we use those two things I circled to make a proportion. The proportion then looks like this. You'll say sine of 62 over 28 as a fraction, like you see here. Then from the next step then is you set that equal to the other pair of things, which is the sine of x over 25, like you see here. That's how you set it up, and you would solve for x from there. This other example here, you're going to look at, can I use law of sines in this question? And the answer is yes. However, I cannot originally circle an angle and a side that are opposite each other. I have no side length here, and I have no angle measure here, and I have no side and angle given across from each other. But we do know one thing. In a triangle, we know that a triangle has 180 degrees inside of it. All three angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So therefore, I know that if I have 30 degrees, 61 degrees, this other remaining angle has to be 89 degrees to get all three angles to add up to 180 degrees. Now that I have that, I can now circle an angle and a side that are opposite each other, so therefore I can use law of sines. And then if I'm trying to solve for x, I'll circle my 61 and my x as well. And then as I try to set up the proportion, I'll say sine of my angle over my side, sine of 89 over 8, equals sine of my angle over my side, which would then be sine of 61 over x. And then I would solve that proportion for x as well. That's how you do law of sines. So remember, can you circle an angle and a side that are opposite each other? All right, now let's look and see if you can identify what a law of cosines question looks like. The first thing you might always do, though, in a non-right triangle is ask yourself, can you do law of sines first and find an angle and a side that are across from each other? In this case here, no. This one has no angle and side given across from you, and then also the 14 and the C don't have any information given across from each other either. And like we did in the previous one, you cannot find the missing angles because you only have one. You need two to be able to find all three. So that's not going to work either. So then the next question you want to ask yourself is, when you're trying to decide, can I use law of cosines, is, do I have side angle side or side side side? In this question right here, you're going to notice that I'm given a side, an angle, and a side. Therefore, I could find the missing side that's across from here by using this formula with law of cosines. I'm not going to get into the details of how you actually solve it, but here's how you'd set up the equation to solve it for x. In this next example, you're going to notice you could have also side, side, side. If you're given three sides of a triangle and you want to find one of the missing angles of that triangle, you can use law of cosines in this example as well. This is the formula that you're going to use to find the measure of angle C, or in this case, angle x, in this problem. This is the information. You'll have to learn on a different video how to solve and set this up. But the way you recognize this one is with side angles, or this one's at side, side, side. If you're given three sides of any kind of triangle, you can find the missing angle in the triangle using law of cosines. And that's basically it. Hopefully this video helps you identify either with side angle side, 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 or sides and angles that are across from each other in triangles to use law of sines. Good luck, and hopefully this video helps.